and Bethesda Developer Direct January 2023. What did we get announced today? We kind of hinted at it in the last podcast of what was going to be there, but we actually got to see some of it here. So now it's kind of our reaction to what we saw, and are we excited about it? Are we not excited about it? What do you got? What do you got for me, James?
All right, so the Xbox Developer Direct, now if you know something about Nintendo Directs, it was very much in kind of that shape and form. What I found interesting is going over to Twitter and people freaking out. There was no Starfield. They didn't talk about Fable. They didn't talk about the next State of Decay.
Well, they obviously don't watch our podcast where we explain to them why.
Yeah, but
so
Xbox...
Zooch, if you're listening, don't message me asking me where the updates are for Starfield when you're not listening to the podcast.
Yeah, if you're a true friend, you should listen to our podcast.
Okay, you're not listening, or at least just download it. Don't listen to it. Just download it. Move those numbers up. Let's go. But can you believe he messaged me today and he was like, why didn't they announce anything for Starfield? I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, bro.
Goodness.
You gotta be kidding me, bro.
He even plays seriously when we talk about this stuff.
Exactly.
All right, so what Xbox did well ahead of time, they said, we are only going to talk about Forza Motorsport, Minecraft Legends, Redfall, the new Elder Scrolls Online update, and then Elder Scrolls was going to have their own showcase immediately following. It was going to have a deep dive.
I didn't watch that, unfortunately.
And
I didn't get through that.
Then they had a surprise release today. Now it's just an indie. So Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush, dude. I don't understand this game.
It's a lot of people have been playing it today. People really enjoyed it. It's
a rhythm action game.
Rhythm action game, cell shaded. It's kind of, it's one of those niche type games. If you like it, you like it. It's on Xbox Game Pass.
So here's when we were watching this, I was joking with the guys and gal that the whole time I was watching that event, all I could think of is someone really loved Guitar Hero and Gears of War. Like the combat style and where they're chaining stuff together. I was like, this has a very Gears of War feel and Guitar Hero graphics all over it.
Yeah. Man. Now I will say they stealth dropped it as soon as the showcase was over. They told you could get it on Game Pass or purchase it now, so that game is out and is available on Game Pass or Steam as well.
Tango Gameworks. I mean, it's not like, I was shocked because that's like horror genre, not this upbeat like cybernetic rock star.
Yeah. So really good game. For those that like that. I've been watching it today. The people that like that genre, they've really enjoyed it.
Okay, other people. We have not reviewed it.
James
is going to take a review.
No,
he's going to give you a review of Hi-Fi Rush.
James is not reviewing that, but people that are playing it right now, they really are enjoying it.
We got bring you a review here of Hi-Fi Rush.
Dive into Minecraft Legends, which is not my.
Don't care. Move on.
Okay, listen. I will say this about Minecraft. I do think it's very cool that Mojang, remember they said it was Mojang, it's not Mojang. Mojang Studios. I do think it's very cool that they have taken the Minecraft IP and they've been able to make other style of games, whether it was a Telltale game that they had, whether it was Minecraft Dungeons, which is like a Diablo game, and now this Minecraft Legends, which has got a little bit of StarCraft style gameplay to it. Yes, I understand if you're diehard into those other genres, maybe this isn't for you, but you know who it is for. If you're a parent and you want to play video games with your kids, this is going to be a perfect game to play with your kids. And we'll probably dive into this a little bit on my other podcast, which is Parents vs. Gaming. But this is a perfect game for that. And you got to admit, you would play this if your kids wanted to play it. You'd be like, oh, I'll play this. You'd be okay with it.
I have no comment there.
Yeah, exactly.
Kids have better taste than this. My
but
kids play Mario.
I give them a lot of credit.
Zelda.
All I'm saying,
Kirby.
Give Minecraft, give the studio credit that they're able to take this IP and drop it into a lot of other genres.
Again, I'm trolling here. I think this is a phenomenal move that they're doing. The details were kind of interesting, like their PvP play, the way they're unveiling it, and yes, the way they've been able to take this game and run it through all of these different genres in order to bring so many people into the gaming space that wouldn't normally have been there. It's one of the largest games out there in the world, and it was a single developer that originally put it all together. Like, that is phenomenal game that you have, and it was right at the right time where the 8-bit games were hot. And it stayed. Like, it's very hard to find games like this that have the staying power that Minecraft has had, and the appeal to such a broad audience. And I am 100% trolling. Like, again, it's not my genre of game. It's not what I'm going to go play for hours and hours on end, but I do understand the level of development that goes into making whatever game you're trying to make, and the difficulty that they have, especially in a game that has this following. Because again, it's like Call of Duty. You start getting stuff wrong, you start screwing up, your community base is going to get mad at you, and they've nailed it almost every time.
Yeah.
Like, I can't think of a time where they've just been ridiculously off, where the entire community is like, this is terrible.
Yeah, no, the people love
so
their different Minecraft genres.
I
for
won't be
sure.
out there playing it, but hey, I think it's definitely a good step forward for them. And I like any game that's going to bring PvP into it. Like, that's always fun.
That's got a release date of April 18th.
Oh yeah, there's a bet on the release dates here.
Yeah, we do have a bet on the release dates. That if a game was given a release date today, I told Ender we bet $5. I know we're poor. That they would not be delayed.
It's called a gentleman's bet.
Yeah,
not a poor
it's more
bet.
about
It's a
pride.
gentleman's
It's
bet.
more about pride.
Next, I'm framing
up,
that shit. It's gonna be right here. I'm gonna put it right there.
No, that's where it's gonna go. I'm gonna have it framed every episode.
Yeah,
because you're gonna
but
lose.
Again, if they get delayed, I'm
Correct.
telling you,
You're gonna win. Yes.
James, there's
April
no
18th.
way they're gonna get delayed. They've already delayed all these games.
Yeah,
There's no
Hi-Fi
way.
Rush didn't get delayed. It launched today, so I'm already one in the books.
No one knew that was coming out.
April 18th, Minecraft Legends. Next up, Redfall.
It's easy not to push your date when you don't tell anybody.
Arcane Studios, who recently made Deathloop, was a PlayStation exclusive for a year till Microsoft bought Bethesda, and now it's ours. But ours, I say like I'm on Team Xbox, but
You are Team Xbox.
Redfall has a release date of May 2nd. It's next. I don't know. You kind of watched a little bit more gameplay than me. This looter shooter, almost Destiny meets Far Cry style. Co-op shooter.
It gave me more Borderlands vibes.
Okay.
Kind of deal. When we talked about this on the last podcast, I was just like, vampires? Like, really? Like, this is where we're going with it? And then I watched this, and you know what? I'm kind of excited about it. Like, I'm always a fan of someone bringing in a co-op game. There's not enough of that in the
Correct.
space. And there was a lot to this game. There's like a character development in the game.
Yeah, it's an RPG
So
looter
you can build
shooter.
your character up, kind of looter shooter deal. You have different points on the map that you can go to that are safe zones, so you can do things there. And honestly, like, I didn't think I was gonna like the style of game, but when you watch and you watch the play, I'm like, this is probably gonna be pretty fun.
I'm a little nervous with the gun mechanics. We'll see how that plays.
Well, that's where I think, like, I can suspend the gun mechanics if the gameplay is fun.
Now, I want to pull something up for you, Ender, that I don't know if this is true. I heard this on the Xcast podcast, which is Xbox's podcast on Kind of Funny. It's the podcast they do. And they mentioned something about multiplayer that I didn't know. And I've tried to find something behind this to see if this is true. From what I understand, unless it changed today or you saw something different or someone in the comments can correct me, if you play co-op, say it's your game, and I jump into your game for co-op, nothing that I do with my character will save the progression.
I didn't hear that.
Now, if that's the case, are you still excited about this game for co-op gameplay?
Yeah, because
if
I
you
think, like,
cannot
for us,
progress your player when you play with me. So imagine we imagine we get on one night, we play 6 hours.
If you can't, if the co-ops if we're both not progressing at the same time, so I don't like, I'm not sure how that's gonna work. So my question would be, like, is it I started a single player game and I brought you into that single player game, or I started like a 2-player game and this is designated a 2-player game, and we always have to play as 2 to progress? Like, I think that's the determination that we have. But yeah, if only one person ever progresses based on the person that starts the game, that would be a problem. But if it's here's your single player game, you're doing that on your own, and that progression is separate, then here is your co-op with these 2 guys, and here is your one with 3 guys. Like, yeah, am I a little upset with that? Maybe, but I think it keeps the balance between all
But I
of
don't
us
think it's the
same.
way you're giving a best case scenario, and I don't think
No,
that.
I am because I didn't hear anything. I don't know.
Now, what I
But I'm
find
just
weird
saying,
about
like,
it is that they say if you play co-op and you can bring up to 4 people.
Yeah, if it's
more
like,
your
hey,
characters
come support me
interact-
while I level my
Yeah, I
character,
don't-
like fuck that, I'm just gonna play on my own.
But the more your characters interact with the other characters in the co-op, it develops more of the story and more of the So I'm very curious if what they were saying. I've tried to look into this. I don't know if this is true. I guess we can try to find that out. I'll try to get more details on that. But that's what I understand. And if that's the
mean,
case, it's really thrown
I
me
think
off.
the game's ruined. Like hands down, the game is ruined because that's not co-op play,
Yeah.
really. So like, and if you don't have multi-person progression in a game, like every game that has multiplayer does
Yeah.
that. Like you're way behind, and you really lost your player base there. Like that's not what people were asking for. You missed the mark hugely.
Yeah.
And just make a single player game.
So let's hope let's hope that's not the case there. May 2nd for Redfall. If you have more comments or something
So
else,
now I'm not
let us know.
excited. Jeez.
Hey, I just wanted to let you know ahead of time. Next up, June 20th release date was the Elder Scrolls Online update. People love this game that do play it. Necrom, I believe, is the title. I'm not an Elder Scrolls Online player. I know it has a solid player base. It's great. It's on Xbox Game Pass. People that love the Skyrim area. I think it's opening up Morrowind. I think is what it's getting into. Do you know much about
taking the players back to the Morrowind chapter? I played Morrowind a little bit, but I mean we're going back to like Xbox, like
Yeah, that was
way
Xbox
back then,
exclusive.
So I don't remember it that well. And I think the cool thing is the 20 previous chapters are now DLC free. Like that's pretty badass. Like that's a lot of content that you're gonna get free. And if you know anything about Elder Scrolls classes, they do not add new ones often, and you're getting a new one in this called the Arcanist. So I know people are going to be super excited about that. Everyone is when there's a new class added to a game like Elder Scrolls. I was a World of Warcraft guy, so honestly Elder Scrolls I didn't play a lot of because at that point I was playing PC games. This was on console. I wasn't really playing console at that time, and you didn't have PC games or console games on PC. Like it just wasn't there. It was just exclusive at that point.
All right. Last one.
I might try it though because all this content's free.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't hurt for us to jump in and take a peek at it. It's on
and
Game
all this
Pass.
stuff, like a lot of this stuff is Game Pass. Like
so it's definitely anything coming out of Xbox is always going to be on Game Pass. So it's great for that. Last but not least, this is something I know you have been super excited about coming. The Forza Motorsports. Now, this is where our bet's going to get a little... I have to take some concessions here, but this is where it goes. Last summer, when Xbox did their E3 not E3 showcase, they showed all these games, and they said everything they were showing then, including Starfield, by the way, which wasn't on today because it has its own show coming up, would be released by the end of June of 23. Forza was the only game that didn't get an actual release date, and they put coming 2023. So this game, for me to win the bet, not only do all the other games have to come out the day that they put, this game has to come out before June 30th.
Late.
June 30th is the latest. Jeff Keighley tweeted out that it was going to be by the end of June. I don't know if he's just going off that 12-month date that Xbox promised, or he knows something on the inside. So
look, the one thing I know about these games is licensing deals can hold you up.
I understand.
Huge. So it takes one dealership to say, you know what, we don't want our car in this, or we want you to change something, or we're still in legal battles. Like one thing can hold it up. So for them to not give a date makes me already think we're in some kind of legal battle with somebody.
All right, now what about
which was confirmed by
gameplay?
one of our followers that the Forza 7 was removed because of car licensing.
Gotcha.
So that was why that was removed. So thank you for that. I don't remember who it was, but thank you.
So Turn 10 Studios returns. It's different than the Forza Horizon developers.
Yes.
It's
different game. So.
Yeah, different game. Motorsport's more of your sim racer. Now, what I like about Forza in the past, and I'm assuming this Motorsport's going to be the same. If you're not a sim race fan, you are still probably, and you just want to dabble a little bit, maybe you're a Forza Horizon fan, you're still going to be able to enjoy this game. Over 500 cars to collect. You can play it where they basically hold your hand. They'll give you racing lines. You can. I'm just going to say it. Dumb it down. That's what I'm going to have to do when I first start playing. They water it down.
There's
very,
only
very
so
simple.
much you can do with a controller anyway.
Or you can boost this thing all the way up and be the sim racer of sim racers. Now, so with that being said, running at 4K 60 frames, ray tracing, the whole thing. This thing is basically built to showcase the Xbox Series X. Of course, you'll probably play it on PC.
No, I'll be playing on the Xbox Series X.
So
that's what
at least your progression carries over between the two because you'll have it on Game Pass. But what are your thoughts here, Andrew? You're the racing guy.
I am super excited for it. Ark and I are both huge Forza fans, and the whole time this was going on, we were watching it. I mean, the ray tracing looks phenomenal. The paint detail they're doing is phenomenal. Some of the pictures that we had of the new way that they're dealing with damage and dirt and grime buildup on the car is unique to every car. So you used to have like spots on the car that would build up with grime, but since they built it off a different car, it would be like in the wrong spot on the other car because the wheelbase would be different. 500 cars, the most cars we've ever had, 100 brand new cars to the game. So I'm super excited to know what that is because really, whenever they say that, it's like we're reusing the same cars over and over again. You're not getting new stuff, but they're saying 100 cars, 20 different locations at start. That's like the most we've ever had. They're all going to be 3D rendered and mapped. So basically, a lot of times they build the tracks off of Google Maps. Really, they go on top of the maps that they build that way. These maps are actually built on them driving the maps and mapping it with surface mapping technology, which means the bumps are going to be in the right spot, the dips are going to be in the right spot. I'm super excited to like race around the Nürburgring with all this new stuff. It's going to be on the sim rig. It's going to be on the 75-inch TV in front of me. And yes, I know I should have a wraparound or 3 screens or something like that. No, I like the 75-inch. All right. It's going to be surround sound all around me, immersive, and you probably, I'll be sitting right behind here and you won't see me for days on end just sitting in the sim rig. Like I'm ready. Because all I have is a set of Corsa right now because my sim rig is around Xbox. Like it's not around PlayStation. And unfortunately when you buy all this equipment, you kind of have to choose. Are you going to have a PlayStation one or are you going to have a PC/Xbox one? So I went with the PC/Xbox, thinking I was going to hook it up to my PC, but turned out that the Xbox actually ran the games better, the Series X. So that was kind of what I was excited for. So and I'll play in full 4K. I'm stoked. Like I really want that because F1 flopped for me because it was just way too arcadey. The only thing that could go wrong here is if they do what GT did and they just make the progression system horrible and the way that you have to get the licensing and the racing and all that kind of stuff. So and GT became pay to play, dude. It was just fucking pay to play. Buy all the cars, buy all of this. It was super hard to have enough money to do anything in the game if you're just racing. So don't make it pay to play. Please don't make it pay to play. And it sounds like if we're getting 500 cars at launch, it's not going to be. But we know how it all goes. They get that drop in there. You buy everything you want, and then you lose all the integrity of the game super fast. The only thing they also didn't say is how good the online matchmaking play is going to be. Because that's big, like being able to race online and different racing tournaments and all of those things. Like right now you have iRacing, but iRacing's expensive. And you have to like earn the licenses and you can get dropped out of the league and stuff. Like here you can be a
iRacing is a lifestyle.
Yeah, you can be a complete noob, get into these races, and you can't affect somebody else's race because you really can't. Like some of the races you can't even run into people. Like it's a time trial kind of deal that you're running. So I'm excited about it. I haven't broke out the sim rig in a while. I'm looking forward to it. Like I'm looking forward to a good racing progression game. So